Every week for the last month, we've been touring college campuses and hosting roundtable discussions with young voters. I've talked to 18 to 22-year-olds from California to Florida, asking them if they plan to vote and about the issues that matter most to them. The new kids on the block and potentially at the polls aren't just millennials anymore.
There's going to be an increased number of Generation Z voters.
Generation Z is made up of those born from 1996 on, with the oldest now around 22. The social media and smartphone natives are multitaskers who have never known a world without the internet in their pocket. They're the largest percentage of the population at over 25%, and the youngest potential voters casting their ballots in the midterm elections. They've also come of voting age in a unique political climate.
A calculated and orchestrated political hit.
I think the Democrats had something to do with it.
So what do our youngest and first-time voters think of all this? We met up with Gen Zers at a spot not often associated with politics, but definitely passion, a college football game.
What do you think about what's going on in Washington, what you see on the news?
I feel like our politics are very divided.
And it's really true because I see so many people befriending each other because they don't have the same political views as one another.
People just attack. It's very hostile.
But will heated rhetoric draw them to the polls or turn them off? According to Circle, a nonpartisan organization that tracks the youth vote, about 60% of 18 to 21-year-olds are registered to vote, and 34% say they are extremely likely to vote. That's a higher rate than in previous midterm elections, if it holds.
Are you going to vote in the upcoming midterm elections?
I don't know yet.
I'm actually not going to vote.
Young people voting, I don't think they're going to show up as much as people believe.
Those who are planning to vote have zeroed in on issues they care about.
The environment, it's really big for me personally.
The environment, that's very important to Gen Zers all alike, conservative, liberal, moderate.
I think that gun violence, especially mass shootings, is a huge issue that I think people are going to keep in mind.
Across the country in San Diego, 26-year-old Morgan Murtaugh is a Republican running for Congress. She's also a millennial who knows she needs the Gen Z vote. We joined her for some unconventional campaigning.
I'm definitely targeting voters. We're the ones that feel like super disenfranchised by the fighting of the older generation that is dominating politics.
Many of her campaign techniques reflect that young sensibility.
I started doing Postmates to pay my bills and to, I also meet voters, and that's been exciting and crazy.
So you're like rolling up with someone's like cheeseburger and you're like,
and one time a vape pen, yeah.
Efforts to reach these young voters are unprecedented during midterm elections, a push to help a new generation realize their impact.
I hope in my heart of hearts that Gen Z is out here to vote because we really are the future at this point.
Savannah, you talked to a lot of the kids. Do you feel like they were really engaged in the political process? Did they feel like they belonged to a party, or were they kind of going on their own way?
So that's interesting. A lot of them are more willing to try to find middle ground. They are not interested in the tribalism. It kind of freaks them out.
Right.
And they actually, one girl said to me, are politicians scared of us? Are we scary? Because they feel like what they're talking about are a lot of issues that they don't feel actually affect their day-to-day.
Issues like what don't they care about these?
I heard from a lot of them, immigration and healthcare to them is just not what would go motivate them to vote, even though it's something that's taking up a lot of time in Washington, whereas gun control affects them in their schools, on their campuses.
My daughter's abroad right now, and she's made sure she got her absentee ballot so she can vote in this election.
Absolutely. A lot of young people are doing that. And we saw in there Taylor Swift, she's actually posting on her own Instagram story, young people who are at their college campuses sending in their absentee ballots. And I think it's motivating a lot of people because she's doing like 30 to 40 a day. It's been crazy.
Wow. All right, Savannah, thank you. You can see more of her on Stay Tuned, NBC's Daily Show on Snapchat. Is that going all right?
Yeah, it's
great.
It's a hit.
Right.
Not billion.
It's the most viewed Snapchat ever
in the history of the world.
It's a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
It's the most popular show at NBC.